What are we doing?
PTR, let's go!
PTR bits.
Which is different from Let's Fucking Go, which is our FF section.
Yeah, no, yeah. There we are. And capture card is functional. Fantastic. I also have audio this week, and I have, assuming my YouTube like volume stays, I won't do definitely this week.
Oh, nice.
Not that I think we've anything to show, at least for a while. So,
Anduin.
Anduin's censored mostly because it's, if people are kind of averse to some kind of some spoilers.
Honestly, in my head, there's no spoiler here.
Yeah, there's nothing.
This is basically a segment where we will talk about lore, but it's A, speculation, and B, it is countering some of the copy pasta you may have seen that Anduin is dead. Because he's not.
Yes.
At least in the thing that was dynamite that made some people think he was dead.
Yeah. If he is,
Maybe.
I would be extremely confused. Let's put it that way. So we have Anduin's, and that doesn't... Well, 7 letters, nothing too rude there. It is, in fact, Anduin's. Can I update? Hang on 1 second. Now for some showbiz magic, he says, as he...
Interesting, I can't fix it in my end.
Of course you can't, because... There we go.
There we go, Anduin's Goodbye, that's what it's called.
Showbiz fucking tragedy.
Yeah.
Airman magic. So...
So basically what happened is a cinematic called Anduin's Goodbye was datamined.
Yep.
And that made a lot of people think that Anduin was dying.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Anduin's father's compass was a part of all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And we may as well just play it.
All right. Let's just watch the audio levels very carefully. We should be fine.
There's no VO or anything in it.
Yeah, but the music's really loud. But we should be okay. Let's just monitor. We're fine. Why is it not full screen? Idiot. There we go.
So the thing to know here is these characters both like phase in as shades. So these are like shades, or no, I don't mean ghosts as in they're dead, but like visions, right? So this is not literally these two characters standing here, and this scene, which seems to be a conversation between Anduin and Sylvanas, this is sort of like a sort of a shade or a vision of the past or whatever that is being looked on by like Jaina, Thrall, a few characters.
Yeah, you should see them shortly after this cut.
Yeah.
It's after one of these cuts in the middle. It kind of goes.
So we see these two having a chat. There's a mound underneath them.
Yeah.
So some people, who is that a burial mound? We don't really know.
Certainly looks like it.
And this object is here. Now we're speculating that this object is the compass.
I'm fairly sure we have all but confirmation.
So I mean, in that case, look, if Anduin is literally dead.
Yeah.
And he is buried in that mound with the compass placed on top of it. I mean, then this could be a pretty big cutscene.
Yeah.
The whole thing is we don't know.
Yep.
And we do know that Anduin does not die in this cutscene. So this is just being, looked on by our characters.
Yep. And apparently the player characters included, but it's not there.
Oh, of course, right. So, yeah, it's hard to say.
They just faded away at the end there.
That Anduin and Sylvanas are here. That makes us think that this is a vision of the past. So we're maybe thinking this is after the raid in terms of the narrative.
Yeah.
And we know that something
fairly
humongous will happen at the end of that raid. Blizzard have teased that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, that's what's going on. There's, I had a few sort of headcanons initially, This is called Anduin's Goodbye. I mean, is that Anduin and Sylvanas having a conversation before Anduin gets dominated?
Yeah.
Who is he saying goodbye to? Is somebody... who knows? Who knows? It could be that this is a message left by him for us that's somehow encoded into that...
Compass?
Compass.
I never thought of that. That would make sense.
How is it that the compass is that?
Yeah.
Is this Anduin actually saying goodbye before his mind is controlled? Because he knows that's coming.
That would make sense if he dropped that at some point or somehow launched it into Korthia before he completely lost his marbles, or even if in a final plea to Sylvanas, she left it there for him or something.
Yeah,
something like that, and then these characters chance upon it. Something's gone. Maybe they think something's dead underneath it, but they find it, and then he has the change the world. My final message. Goodbye, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's hard to know now. Like it would be funny is there going to be some sort of redemption for any character? There's some people, maybe I think they could do this, where like Sylvanas will die or whatever, but like one of her final acts will be to free Anduin from his current situation.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe that's the final honorable deed that she does. And as we cover in the upcoming Sylvanas lore video, that...
Oh, yes.
Is that... I've recorded that. Yes, I have recorded that.
It's edited.
That's edited.
As of today, because John just hammered it out like.
Is that on Patreon?
Not yet, because I need a cut without the sponsor.
Ah, okay.
I might just throw it a bit away.
Yeah, well, we could upload it, and then we could manually remove the sponsor segment in the YouTube editor, so the patrons could get it today.
Yeah. So maybe. Look at that. Anyway. Hang around until the end of the stream, you'll get a video. Patrons.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's just that thing with Sylvanas. You know, what is her final sort of thing? Well, with that video, it was the idea that Sylvanas' soul has been split. So this is like dickhead angry Sylvanas, and we have honorable good Ranger General Sylvanas, who's like another soul fragment who's floating around somewhere. But basically, it's hard to know. We are completely flying blind. You know, at one point, I was a little bit far along last night. I kind of thought to myself, oh, you know, what if this is actually a situation where Anduin and Sylvanas are actually in friggin' cahoots, of all things, and they're going to backstab the jailer, and that's going to be the crazy... But then I sat down and thought, I was like, no, that's not going to happen. We fight Sylvanas at the end of the fight. Like, unless Sylvanas somehow sabotages the jailer's plans at the very end, I doubt she will. So, yeah, who knows? Anduin says goodbye. We see a vision of the past with some characters who, I guess, you know, confirmed that those characters survived the raid, but that's hardly a surprise.
Yeah, that's even his post-raid. Who knows? It might actually be pre-raid. I was looking really hard for any information that would show what it is, but it's kind of the fact that it's in Korthia makes me think it might be before.
Oh yeah, it could be.
Because also, after raid cutscene, how do we get out of there straight over there? Because they don't usually do like raid epilogue quest stuff, especially stuff that's attached to raid.
I was wondering if it was a raid epilogue.
I kind of wouldn't. Well, that would make sense if we were all at the top of the sanctum and then jumped off and found the compass, or were teleported away by something.
I mean, just like quest content that takes place canonically post-raid.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
Like if there was a final chapter, which I think they have done. They do that in Nathria. Oh, yeah, because Castle Nathria happens partway through the Covenant campaigns.
Yeah.
Or he's partway through the Venthyr one.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's basically not possible to narrow this one down too much. But if you saw people say they killed Anduin and you just kind of thought, oh my god, I can't believe they killed Anduin. What? Why? I'm no longer interested. No. Anduin's... Something happens to him, probably, but he doesn't die here.
Yeah, that's the one thing that this is really like... Well, I don't mean this as if I've like seen through all the Blizzard's plans, but every time we see stuff like this, we kind of know what's going on. Like, we know what they're going to do next, or we have a good idea. For this one, like, I was sitting trying to write these notes for ages earlier today. I was like, I cannot, like, the first thing I said hadn't written down was hard to say. So I was like, I haven't a goddamn clue what's happening.
Yeah.
So I've got ideas. I can kind of get the themes going on. But in terms of actual events, I'm like, I don't know.
Because we know so little of what happens when the jailer gets all of the sigils, it's just impossible to spitball till we get the raid end cinematic.